Hey everyone, Dr. T here, and we're just digging out of a major snowstorm from yesterday, but I spent a fair amount of yesterday editing some great interviews I had at VMX 2018, and one of them was with Dr. Holowaychuk, and she's a fellow Canadian. She's a critical care emergency specialist, but she's also an expert on wellness, and we talked a lot about wellness. And in this fourth video, four-part series about mindfulness, self-care, etc., she talks about how to develop team wellness, what sort of tools, what sort of great things you can do to help empower the wellness of your team. It was a great interview. Roll intro. And we're back, and my special guest is Dr. Holowaychuk, and she's you can see her on criticalcarevet.ca. I have to write the .ca because it's not .com, it's Canadian, eh? So we'll do that, but definitely we'll have that posted on our Facebook page, etc. And you can find out about her. You can find out what she's doing and where she's going to be. But we were talking about self-care. She broke down self-care into great little divisions, and it's funny because what we were talking about at the break was some of the advice she was giving. It's not like you have to go and totally change your life around. For example, everyone has something they like to do that has nothing to do with their profession. And that literally, believe it or not, that's self-care in a little way. So there are many things you are doing. Don't look at self-care or all this wellness as things you have to start implementing into your life. It's actually just look at your life. What are you doing that would benefit your wellness, and just start adding to that or enhance that or spend more time doing that. And so it's not a complete change. You're not doing a career change.
Yeah.
You're just making little changes that will help your career. And so we talked about self-care for ourselves, and I was telling Marie that there's more trend that I see in our profession, the veterinary profession, of taking those self-care concepts and bringing them towards the team. And one of the examples was, let's go out, drink some wine, and paint pictures of our pets, things like that, which I guess I'm going to put a little plug to the local one. Pinot Palais, I think. Palette is the local store that near where I practice, where they do that a lot. And so if you're in the Montgomery, New Jersey area, check them out. but we do things like that. So what other things do you, when you talk about team self-care?
I love that. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. So, any of the individual, ideally, you would pick a area of wellness that maybe you do want to focus on. Like maybe before you hadn't done any form of spiritual wellness development, and you thought, yeah, you know what, that's something I want to focus on. If you can devise a goal, ideally that's what we call a SMART goal. So it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it's timely. So a goal for around spiritual wellness could be, I'm going to write 3 things in a gratitude journal every day. Or as a team, it could be, I'm going to write 1 thing about a team member that I'm grateful for each week, and it's going to go in our lunchroom team gratitude jar. Okay? And so the reason that's a good SMART goal is because it's specific. It's writing a gratitude. It's measurable. I'm going to do it once a week. It's achievable. I think once a week is pretty reasonable. Every day, that might be pushing it. It's relevant to the team or the person's overall goal for spiritual wellness, and then it's timely so that we can look at the end of the week and see all of the gratitudes that were put in there. So
Awesome idea.
I love the idea of group goals because most of us do better with accountability. So
Right.
If we have accountability to the public or to our team or to our family or to somebody, we're more likely to do that. So another example could be everybody on the team is going to make the goal to sleep at least 7 hours of sleep a night. So you could, in your lunchroom, or your break room, you could have everybody's names down one side of a poster and then days of the month across the top. And it's like a 30-day yoga challenge. Every time somebody sleeps 7 hours, they get a gold star. And then you can actually follow, how people are doing. You could do that with exercise. You could do it, with meditation, how many minutes a day. I mean, as a group, you could decide every month we're going to focus on this, that, and the other. We're going to make a goal. Maybe it's a goal everybody for a month is going to exclude alcohol, So much for paint night. I don't know. Yeah, the look. That's always the look I get when I mention that. Okay, so maybe you limit caffeine to 1 cup of coffee a day, or what? Okay. You're gonna pick your own goal, and you're not gonna consult me for it. But you get the idea.
Get it, exactly.
Yeah.
No, they're great ideas. I'm just joking here. Really not, but
They have to be achievable.
Yeah.
Achievable.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna fail. Day one, Dr. T. Dr. T, you have no stars.
Oh, I just forgot to put the stickers on there.
And so then what's your suggestions? At the end of the month, you tally everything up, and then there's a celebration type thing?
Yeah, exactly. So for some practices you've implemented this, somebody gets a prize, like whoever had the most stars or whoever makes it through the 30 days, maybe they get, like a sleep mask or, whatever, based on what your theme is. This is like the sky's the limit, right? You can come up with so many, maybe they just even get a gift card to a spa or something, some way to reward everybody. I mean, I think the reward is in the process itself, but it's also nice to be kind of striving for something.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just one example of something that you can do.
No, that's great.
Yeah, easy.
But I've already eliminated 2 possibilities there. So how do you think you can get better group wellness in general? So do you have to do self-awareness, self-care first, or can you do them combined? Or?
I think you can do it combined.
Okay.
I think change always starts from within. So I think we can't control what other people are doing. But we can control our own decisions and our own choices. So I always start with self-care from the individual's perspective because that is what you have control over. But I think the accountability piece is really important as well. So I think if you can do both. And you can engage the team as a whole. There's a lot of other ways that you can implement well-being in the workplace as well. So having certain nudges for people. So nudges would be something like, a sign in the office with stretching exercises so that people are kind of reminded, okay, I'm sitting at the computer, maybe I can do some shoulder rolls or like some neck rolls or whatever it might be. In the vending machine, if you have a vending machine or if you have a snack
it'd be
place.
the Keurig machine in our place,
The
right?
Keurig machine, that you have some healthy options, right? Or when people bring in snacks on Fridays, it's not like donuts from Krispy Kreme, it's, a fruit bowl or a vegetable platter, veggie tray, whatever it might be. When you do potlucks, if you have lunch and learns, you do potlucks or something, doing a healthy potluck. Maybe we're going to try a vegan potluck, or we're going to do a meatless potluck or healthy potluck or whatever it might be.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I think in vet clinics, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is eating habits.
Totally.
Yeah, eating habits I think are...
Especially for shift workers.
And it doesn't contribute to your better wellness. It actually, a lot of the... I see a lot of sugars and carbs and, admittedly, I'm a chocoholic, but, I got some vices. But
stick with the dark chocolate.
Yeah, dark chocolate. Yeah, that's what's in the hotel room right now is dark chocolate. But that's great. Do you find that these group wellness things, do they actually bring the team together?
Totally. Yeah, it's with anything. You mentioned even the paint night and, having wine and doing paint. It's social. Right? So there's so many benefits for us because you feel like part of a group, everybody shares in the struggle. Oh, I just couldn't find time yesterday to get my 7 hours of sleep. Or I went to bed early, but I couldn't fall asleep. And, we can commiserate and we can share. And, when I teach self-care to the veterinary students, we often have an accountability page. It's a Facebook page, and people can post their goals on there, and they're individual. They don't do a group goal, but they each choose individual goals. And then, so for example, one student wants to start working out, so they say, hey, does anybody have any like playlists that you normally listen to? Or somebody wants to go to yoga, they're like, can you recommend a studio that's affordable for me as a student? So you're commiserating, you're helping each other. It's social, it's emotional support. You feel a sense of belonging in terms of the social aspect, and the accountability is really important. Most of us do things out of obligation. Most of us are care providers. We're constantly doing things for others. If you can do self-care, but know that you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it because other people are holding you accountable, then even better. And let's be honest, we're all better people when we're looking after ourselves. So the flip side is the more you look after yourself, the better a coworker you are, the better a partner you are, the better a parent you are, whatever it is that you're doing. So it's like win-win for everybody.
And I don't know one of the struggles as owners I see is getting the team to meld together. And it's rare that you get really good teams that meld together. But when you do see that, those are the ones that you see on their social media posts, that they're doing so many things together, acting as one. So, and it's something that, take it from my perspective as an owner, if this was implemented, it's kind of like people, like, for example, that everything I like about an employer, something that someone did well for that week, you're not even identified it, you're just writing it on a piece of paper, so it's not like no one's being centered out, and I think it's really good. But at the end, it's celebrating the wins. That's great. That's phenomenal. And that's a great way to end the show.
Yay.
Yeah. Thanks so much. And remember, everyone, love your pet like they love you, unconditionally. Have a great day.